Hi there everybody, Nick Wiseman here with Wiseman's Weekend Wellness Tip. This weekend I want to talk about irritable bowel syndrome more specifically, but digestive problems more generally. Because honestly, this is something we're seeing all the time in the clinic and something really that we have really pretty good success with treating as well. So it's estimated that about 10 to 15% of people in the world suffer from irritable bowel syndrome. I mean, that's a lot of people. That's like 750 million people in the world. So it's a pretty common problem, and therefore it's something, that we see pretty common too. And so with that said too, if you know people who deal with irritable bowel syndrome, or again, just digestive problems more commonly, then please share this video with them because there's a lot of people out there. And really there are treatments available. I mean, this is something that unfortunately Western medicine doesn't have a ton of good treatments for, at least long-term wise. But holistic medicine systems, Chinese medicine like we practice here, works extremely well for this. And today I'm actually going to give you 2 tips that anybody can do. Literally, this is going to help anybody with their digestive problems. Again, this will help irritable bowel syndrome especially, but these 2 tips will help anybody with any of their digestive problems, because the truth is, most digestive problems come along with, several main characteristics. Really, there are 4, general things that we tend to see with almost any digestive problem. The first one is there's usually some sort of irritation in the gut lining. If you picture the digestive system, really it's a tube straight through your body that has an opening at the top and the bottom and is actually exposed to the environment, to the air all the time. So it's pretty much just like your skin on the outside. It's an area of the body that's always exposed to things. And in the case of the digestion, there's food literally coming past this exposed tissue all the time. And so if it's already compromised or already having problems, it's really easy for this to get irritated. Or if it's already irritated, you can kind of picture, what if you have an irritated spot just on your arm, a rash, a scratch, whatever, and then just keep rubbing it over and over and over again. That's what's happening in your digestive system when it's already irritated. You keep eating food and this already irritated lining just keeps having something rub that irritated area over and over again. It's really hard for it to heal in that case. That's definitely one characteristic we commonly see with that. Another one is there's usually an inefficient ability to really absorb and process nutrients with there. So sometimes, you're getting too much that's leaking through, sometimes you're not getting enough that's coming through into your body. Either way, that absorption is pretty inefficient. The third thing is that there's usually an interruption in the communication between the different digestive organs and processes. It's really important that the timing within your digestive system happens appropriately. So, we eat things, your esophagus has to move it down to the stomach has to start, digesting proteins and these things, then your pancreas has to produce enzymes after that, then your small intestine has to work after that, then your large intestine has to work after that. So if that timing isn't there, then things just aren't going to get digested properly, and that's a pretty common problem to have in irritable bowel syndrome and a lot of digestive issues. And then the last thing that's usually a problem is there's usually a disruption in the gut flora, in the whole microbiome. We have bacteria and microorganisms all over us living alongside us. They're not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, we need them in our digestive system in order to actually have, certain vitamins and minerals, stuff like vitamin K, some B vitamins, these kind of things, you just don't get them unless you have a certain amount of good bacteria in your system. So when you have digestive problems, when you have irritable bowel syndrome, the whole gut microbiome gets thrown way off, and then it's much easier to get infectious, organisms happening, and just inefficient absorption, and just a lot of problems happen from that. So because there's these 4 main characteristics with pretty much any digestive problem, then there's really a couple easy things that really anyone can do in order to just try and establish some sort of balance really back into your digestive system. Now again, if you have a serious problem, if you have irritable bowel syndrome, constipation, ulcerative colitis, all these things, these 2 things will help, but they're probably not going to be enough. So definitely seek treatment for this. But by doing these, you're going to already be doing a lot to really get the process started in the way that it should. So the first tip that I have for you is manage stress, especially while you're eating, because it's very important as far as the timing and the absorption is concerned that your body's not stressed out. Because there's 2 parts of our automatic nervous system, the stress response and then the rest and digest response, the sympathetic part and the parasympathetic part. If you're all stressed, honestly, this inhibits our digestive response. So the first thing to do is control your stress. And some easy things that you can do in order to control this is some breathing exercises. So, there's a lot of different breathing exercises you can do. The one I'm going to show you today is called 4-7-8 breathing, and it was made popular by Dr. Andrew Weil, actually, but it's a pretty common technique. Really, this one, all you're doing is breathing in for 4 seconds, holding your breath for 7 seconds, and then breathing out for 8 seconds. And when you're doing this, it's better to breathe through the nose if you can. And so with that said, if you have sinus congestion, nose problems that you can't breathe through your nose, go get some treatment because it's much more healthy for you to breathe through the nose. So we're gonna do the 4-7-8 breathing real quick for you, okay? Now, breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and then out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do a couple rounds of that. 4 in, 7 hold, out for 8. And this goes a long way to really resetting kind of that stress response in your body. So that's the first tip. The second tip is abdominal massage. This is an extremely helpful thing to just kind of encourage your digestion to do what it's supposed to do, basically. Now, most of the time we're massaging our abdomen in a clockwise way. Clockwise is what we're doing. And it's not like you have to use a lot of pressure or anything. So I'm gonna stand up here and show you what we're doing. We're going clockwise around and just kind of push in down in the bottom right corner, move up, and then around the belly button, and then back down, and then back over to the bottom right, up to the top right, over to the top left, down to the bottom left, and that. And so we're just doing this in just kind of a smooth, even circle, really, with that. And that's abdominal massage. And that's the direction your colon and your intestines should be moving in. So by doing this abdominal massage, especially right after you eat, this is gonna encourage your digestion to move in the way that it should and to operate a little bit more efficiently. So again, thanks for tuning in today. Share this video with anyone who has digestive problems, especially irritable bowel syndrome, because just by managing your stress, doing these breathing exercises, and doing some abdominal massage, it's gonna go a long way to helping you out. Thanks everybody. See you next weekend.